You know that feeling, right? Your heart starts racing, your thoughts just won't stop spiraling. We've all been there. So today, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about anxiety, what it is, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it, both right in the moment and for the long run. So, let's start with this really powerful idea from MedCircle. The ability to manage your anxiety isn't some secret you have to unlock. It's a power you already have inside you. It's just about learning to think about things a little differently. This completely changes the game, right? It's not a battle you have to win, it's a skill that we can all learn and get better at. Okay, but let's be real. Knowing you have that power and actually using it when your heart is pounding out of your chest, well, those are two totally different things. So, how do you tap into that tool when you feel completely and totally overwhelmed? That's the big question we're going to tackle today. To figure that out, we've got to make sure we're all on the same page. So first, let's get really clear on what we're talking about when we use words like stress and anxiety. This is a super important first step. First up, stress. According to the Calm app, stress isn't the enemy. It's actually your body's natural alarm system. It's a response that gets you ready to handle a challenge. You can think of it like your body getting revved up for action, and honestly, a little bit of it can be a good thing. And that brings us to something really important to remember. Feeling anxious sometimes, that is a completely normal part of being a human. Seriously, the goal isn't to never feel anxiety again. It's about understanding it so that it doesn't run your life. So how does anxiety actually show up? Well, it can look and feel like a lot of different things. Calm lists some of the most common ones right here. Maybe for you, it's that constant nagging worry. Or maybe it's feeling totally exhausted all the time, or not being able to sleep. It could be feeling irritable or that physical restlessness where you just can't sit still. Recognizing these signs is really the first step to getting a handle on them. Now, sometimes that feeling can escalate, like way up. You've probably heard people use the terms anxiety attack and panic attack, and a lot of times they mean the same thing. It's the sudden, intense wave of fear that comes with some very real, very physical symptoms, like a pounding heart or feeling like you can't breathe. It can be absolutely terrifying. So what on earth can you do when that happens? Well, that brings us right here. What can you do right now, in the moment, when you feel that wave coming? Let's build your personal toolkit, starting with a few simple techniques that are surprisingly powerful. First up, we've got a technique from Dr. Julie called square breathing. It's so simple, but it really works. Just find something square or rectangular around you, a window, a book, your phone. And as you trace each side with your eyes, you're going to regulate your breath. You breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. It's a perfect example of how giving your brain a simple, structured task can calm your whole system down. Okay, building on that, let's look at another breathing exercise. This one is called diaphragmatic breathing, or just belly breathing. It's another proven method that medical news today recommends. The key is to lie down, put one hand on your chest and one on your belly. When you breathe in, you want to feel the hand on your stomach rise. That's how you know you're shifting from that shallow, anxious breathing to deep, calming breaths. All right, beyond just breathing, another go-to strategy is to ground yourself. When your thoughts are caught in a tornado, the goal is to pull your attention out of your head and plant it firmly back in the present moment. You want to get back into your body, into the room you're in. It's kind of like dropping a heavy anchor in a stormy sea. And here's a super simple way to do that, based on advice from the Calm app. Just stop and engage your senses. What do you smell right now? What sounds can you hear, both close by and far away? What can you physically feel, like the feeling of the chair you're sitting on or the air on your skin? Just naming these things out loud or in your head anchors you right here, right now, and it breaks that cycle of anxious thoughts. So those are your emergency tools. That's your in-the-moment kit. But what's just as important is building a solid foundation of resilience so that you need that emergency kit less and less. So now let's zoom out and talk about the habits that create long-term calm. This is where the real, lasting change happens. This table, which pulls from medical news today, lays out some really key lifestyle shifts. On the do side, you've got things like regular exercise, journaling, and good sleep habits. These are huge. I mean, we all know a tired brain is an anxious brain, so sleep is just not negotiable. And journaling, it's not just about writing what happened. It's about getting the worries out of your head and onto the page so they stop spinning. And on the limit side, it's about being mindful of things that can pour fuel on the fire, like too much caffeine or alcohol, and that whole stress cycle that procrastination kicks off. Now, to really get the goal here, I want to share this incredible metaphor from the spiritual teacher Sadhguru. He says to think of your mind, your intellect,
as a very, very sharp knife. It's an amazing tool, right? It's capable of incredible precision and insight.
And here's the key. If your hand is shaky, that sharp knife becomes a danger. You end up hurting yourself with it. That worry, that anxiety, that's basically you accidentally cutting yourself with your own mind. So, the solution isn't to make the knife dull. The goal is to steady the hand that's holding it.
In practices like meditation, that's how you steady your hand, and it has a real-world impact. Just listen to this from Alex, a Calm user. After 3 years of practice, he was able to seriously reduce the anxiety that was causing major problems in his life. See? This is what building that steady hand actually looks like. It's not just a nice idea, it's a practice that can literally change your life.
So, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this question. Don't think about completely changing your life overnight. Just think about today. What is one small, doable step you can take today to start steadying your hand? Maybe it's just trying that square breathing for 60 seconds. Maybe it's just deciding to take a short walk. That power we talked about at the beginning, it's right there for you to use. Thanks for exploring this with me today.